So this is the ESAB plasma cutter, is it?
That's a ESAB plasma cutter. So the difference from the laser would be that has a much longer bed. So we are cutting very long plates.
That looks like a 12-meter bed.
That is a 12 meter, you're right. And also if you have really thick material, so plasma is slightly less precise cutting compared to laser.
Yeah.
But you can cut more various types of materials here.
Oh, okay.
So after plasma or after laser, usually your second operation would be folding the part or bending the part.
Yep.
So like side guard infill, at this moment it's just a plate.
So this press brake here.
So press brake there, it's very unique. I'll tell you why. You see it's like a tandem.
It's two together, isn't it?
Yes.
It's so big.
So it's 6 meters plus 6 meters.
Yeah.
Or it can work as a 12 meters together. And
so if you want to put like a chassis rail or something, a big piece of flat steel that's 12 meters long.
And we have 11 meters half pipe body.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't have such big machine, you will need to use maybe 6 meter plate and join it in the middle.
Yeah.
So you will weld it.
Yeah.
It's a heat, it's another welding seam. In our case, it's not required because we would buy 11 meter sheet, cut it to size, and then we can press it here as a one piece. So it's very important for certain type of trailers. Also on the crane trucks, let's say your body is 8 meters as example. Again, more than 6 meter press brake is not enough. So we don't need to join two pieces because we do it from one steel piece.
How many ton of hydraulics is this then?
400 tons each.
400 tons each.
It's a lot of pressure.
Usually on the press brake is, if you look at the model, E60400, so 60 is your length, 400 that's 400 tons.
I wonder how much one of these weighs, just like this. So big, isn't it? So big. And the amount of power.
I don't want to lie, but it will be quite a lot of tons because you need to have a good concrete under, because there's a vibration and a lot of forces going. So
under where this machine's sat,
it's like a special pad.
Yeah, just for this machine to sit on. It's so heavy.
Yes, yes. These are your so-called light barriers. Let's say if you put your hand.
Oh, so if I put my head in there.
But that's a light barrier product. But for us, we call it small and large. So that one is 4 meters, 220 tons.
Yeah. 220 tons is a lot, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You can see material like that. That's, I think, 3mm stainless steel.
Yeah.
You don't even feel that on a machine like that.
No. Oh, same again, working to the drawings as well. Yeah.
And then when you finish, you unload your parts and you put the drawing together. So if you want to, let's say, inspect random parts, you can do that as well.
That must be one of the biggest steel presses in Europe, really. There's not too many factories with a machine like that.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I went to Bailey Trailers a few months ago, so they could only do 6 meters at a time, not like a 12. But that's the first time I've seen two machines having to be put together.
To do that,
To do that, because obviously one machine would just too heavy, wouldn't it?
Does that create, if you have to weld, 2 6 meters, does that make it a bit weaker?
It is.
Yeah. So you've got more strength
you can,
for this machine.
You can make it strong, but then that will be a lot of welding, some extra parts, which probably will mean extra weight as well. So if you can avoid welding, it's much better all the time. Less welding in general is better.
This is about what I want to say. It's a chassis, isn't it?
So we have 2 departments for welding. This department, they are welding subframes. It looks like a chassis, but that's a subframe for the rigid truck.
Okay.
That's why we have that truck here. That subframe or the body will go on here. And when you get the truck itself has some tolerances, couple of mils here, couple of mils there. This is why we always take a truck for measuring to make sure that that body will fit perfectly on that truck. Now, at the end of the welding, we will loosen the bolts, take the subframe to the paint shop, it will get painted. So this area is for welding for rigids.
Okay.
On the next bay we will go and we will see chassis for trailers, which is very similar project.
I just want you to come in and have a look at this, because this is where the crane comes in. So this bit here on the front, this is because you also fit higher cranes as well to the front of these trucks, don't you?
Correct.
So we'll be going and having a look at that, because I didn't realise there's another factory next door. Higher crane will sit, and then on the back there you've got your rigid bit. So like if you want to move like a 20-foot shipping container or something.
Yes, correct.
You've got like the crane which will then pick the container up and put it on the body of the lorry.
So in this case it's a front-mounted crane.
Okay.
It can be also rear-mounted crane.
Oh, okay.
So it's up to customer what he wants.
Whatever they want.
But
yeah.
that would be very similar fixing points. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a very critical part. You know?
Okay.
You cannot make mistakes here.
Yeah.
And the quality of welding obviously is very, very important.
It looks nearly as good as my welding.
Yeah.
This is like the bottom half of the trailer which your axles are welded to, isn't it?
Correct, correct. So when you have already parts made,
Yeah.
cut, pressed, drilled and all of that,
Yeah.
you start welding. So the table here is a small sub-assemblies.
Yeah. And then behind us here we've got the jig for the chassis, isn't it?
So that jig is to put your chassis together.
Yeah.
We call it packing jig, because here guys they will not weld too much. That is very important to make sure that everything is straight.
Yeah.
It's to the required dimension. No, because if you will make a mistake here,
Yeah.
then these guys they will just follow the welding and they will weld everything as it is. As I say, in this stage probably you don't need to be a top class welder.
Yeah.
But you need to be able to read the drawings very well
Yeah,
and
okay.
understand them. While next stage is mainly welding, so you don't need to read drawings that much on that stage, but you need to have a really steady hand.
So you don't buy any chassis in from abroad or anything?
No.
Everything is made
No,
here?
everything is made here, yes.
A lot of big bits of metal being moved around all the time, isn't
Yeah,
there?
there is. It's actually upside down, isn't it? Because
Correct.
this is the kingpin.
Yes.
So this is, you can actually start seeing it coming together. So you'll tack all this together and then it moves to the next section
For
where the
full seam welding.
full seam welding, and then the axles will be welding on as well, will they?
Axles actually, axle hangers we will weld, I'll show you there.
Yeah.
But the axles itself, they are bolted.
Oh, okay. Done.
Yeah, so it comes from the same producer where you buy axles.
Yeah.
For example, SAF, they have their own hangers, BPW their own, but they all look very similar. And after that, that will get welded on the main frame and the legs. Some of the producers, they paint them separately and they would assemble separately, but we usually put it on this stage,
Yeah.
on the chassis, and it goes to the paint shop together with the chassis frame.
Yeah.
Because all of our trailers, the legs are the same color as a chassis frame.
Oh, okay.
You know, some producers, they just leave it black color, original color. So you can turn the chassis like
Oh, I
that.
see. Yeah, yeah.
Or other way, because you need to reach the, you know, so in order to reach everywhere, you have to turn the chassis around.
Yeah, okay. So these are the hangers here for the what you welded on for the. These are for the
For the
axles, aren't they?
Yes. So you have hangers,
Yeah.
and then you have your support plates, all of that.
What? How much will these trailers carry on the road then? Like, I suppose that their weight they'll carry 29.5 ton.
Yeah.
But do you actually have to test them above that to like 35, 40 ton it will carry to test them, or I don't.
I'm not aware of that, no. I think everything that we do, we're trying to take 100 kilos off here, 50 kilos off there.
Yeah.
Pretty much we're in that 29 to 30
Yeah,
ton
okay.
payload.
So your big tipping ram will be on the front here somewhere. You can see it's left like a really rough finish on it with a blaster, isn't it?
It is. The next stage will be also sanding, but actually we want rough surface
So you
for
blast
better
it,
adhesion.
blast it, sand it, and then
It goes primer and the top coat. So now
Okay.
we use AkzoNobel Sequence paint system,
yeah.
and the supplier is coming for random audits. It can be any time, it can be even today in a couple of hours.
Okay.
They will just turn and they check how well we follow the procedure which is set by them.
So the paint people who supply the paint, they want to make sure that you're doing a good job of painting
Exactly.
your trailers so that they don't get a bad name and then you don't get a bad name
Yes.
either.
And also, if we follow all the procedures, then we get warranty from them, which later is passed to the customer, to the final customer.
Yeah.
If we were not following the procedure, then the big discussion starts about warranty and all of that.
Okay.
I'm very happy that we never had that discussion.
So this is a sandblasting bay, isn't it?
Yes.
Hodge Klemko, it's the same sandblaster as what I've got.
Is it?
Yeah, they've been going a long time.
That's I think from Sheffield, this company,
Okay.
somewhere near Sheffield. That booth is quite new, it's 3 years here.
Just having a look in the sandblasting bay.
So this is protector for the legs.
Oh, so you're going to protect the legs when you shot blasting?
Yes, because you have a gear and you don't want your shot blast media to go inside.
Okay.
But the rest,
Very loud in here as well, isn't
Yeah.
it? So this is the shot blaster just here. Really dirty job, but it does such a brilliant job, and you should never have any problem with any paint. So all it's doing, we've got some real fine sand just here, and that's what it's doing. It's firing the sand out of that nozzle very, very, very fast.
it goes to the spray booth.
Straight in the spray booth.
Yes.
How many spray booths have you got? Because I can see loads of different ones all over the place.
So we have, this one is our main spray booth for chassis.
Yeah,
We have the whole painting line for the body.
yeah.
And we have 2 spray booths for smaller parts and components. That's a primer going on the top of chassis.
It's very, very hot in here today, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
So this is the chassis and primer. So it's come from the sandblasting booth, and now this is the primer bay. Will they paint the paint on here as well, or will
yes.
they move it to the
So
next bay?
it will be a primer.
Yeah.
Then you have sometimes like a flash off, but it's quite short time.
Okay.
And that will be your top coat on the top.
Okay.
And then again some time to cure.
Okay. Lovely. Well, how hot is it in here at the moment?
For the painting you have usually about 20 some degrees, 23, 24. But
Okay.
after that there will be a bake cycle where
Okay.
you can reach about 60 degrees.
Okay. Comes
chassis
out that
comes
roller
out.
shutter door just there.
Exactly. So you have painted frame here,
Yeah. Okay.
and then we have 2 stages of assembly.
You can have whatever colour you want as well.
You can have whatever color, yes. Usually the most standard colors for us is a post office red, like this one.
That paint, you can tell that paint is like really, really good straight away.
You see, it's very, very important for us. We always want a glossy paint,
Yeah.
not some kind of matte. Whole air brake system will be installed here.
Okay.
We use colored pipes. Some of the producers, they will have everything in black. Maybe it's easier for them, but because
You want
that's
to
your
colour code everything.
exactly. When it comes to the repair, it's much easier to follow, the service line, emergency line, and
Yeah,
so on
okay.
and so on. For this reason, we always follow the color coding.
Oh look, it's got having its axles put on.
So stage 1 here, it will be your piping wiring,
Yeah.
and stage 2 is your axles and wheels. So at the end of this line, you have chassis like that,
Yeah.
which is, we call it fully assembled chassis, ready to go for a body mount.
Okay.
So what you see here, frame, brake system, axles, wheels, and we have a weigher system.
Yeah, because every trailer's got its own weighing system.
Every
on, doesn't it?
trailer, yes. What is very important in this stage, because all these components are critical, like axles and wheels. So all these bolts will be
Yeah.
torque controlled.
Okay.
You need to check the torque according to the paperwork, and also you need to make sure that you have a proper alignment on the axles itself.
Okay.
So your reference point is a kingpin itself,
That's
and
so
then you
it's
have
not,
like a triangle,
That's so it's not screwing going down the road,
Exactly.
following you straight, and not wearing the
because
tyres
if
out.
your axles are not aligned, then you will have problem with the tires. They will wear.
Tanks are as well,
Yeah.
aren't they? These are the air tanks we looked at in the parts earlier.
Yes, yes. So the aluminum ones with the brackets.
Yeah, very smart.
What is very unique for the Fruehauf trailer, is the type of installation itself.
Yeah.
Because we put the tubes and cables inside this plastic tube, because that's your brake system. You don't want really any leaks in there.
Okay.
Again, it takes more time as a process. It's some extra materials here.
Yeah.
It was discussed in the past, but we want to keep it that way. This is unique for Fruehauf trailer. I don't remember anyone doing like that, even if I'm travel through all Europe in the shows. But
what would they usually do? Just bolt the cables all as one down under here or something, instead of putting them in a ducting?
Usually they have like a steel rod welded, and then all these cables will be outside with the cable ties.
Oh, I see. So putting it in this duct really does protect it a lot more, doesn't it?
Yeah. And it looks neat, you know, you don't see that many of them. All you see is just two main lines, that's all.
Very smart. So this next part here is where you build the aluminium bodies. So all the raw materials, or the raw aluminium we looked at coming in earlier, is now coming in over here. And then you say this all fits together, does it?
Exactly. So these two panels would clip one into another.
Okay.
And you can see that's one kit for two sidewalls, left and right. So it's cut to the length already.
So all your sidewalls are hollow as well, are they?
Yes. So that's a 30mm thick hollow section.
Okay.
Yes. So that's for so-called smooth cider. Okay. We also have two other models, a bathtub and a half pipe.
Okay.
So on these two models you don't use the planks.
Yeah.
It is a sheet plate, the aluminum plate outside.
So then all you do, you slot them all together, which I take it is on this machine here.
Yes. So that's our jig for the sidewall production.
Yeah.
So you have your front post, top rail, and the panels. You can see now they are all clipped together.
Yeah.
So the guys will measure, they will cut to the shape.
Yeah.
And then the next stage will be welding.
Everything's done by hand, isn't it?
In this department, everything is done by hand apart from that jig.
Yeah.
This is, we can call it semi-automated. It's not a real robot.
Okay.
But it goes on one axis and other axis. And you can control it like you have a pilot in hands.
Yeah.
So really you don't need to weld by hand.
Okay.
So it's our first step where we convince ourselves that we need a real robots now.
Okay.
Well, since we've done that table, we understood that the next stage really for us is a welding robot.
So this is the whole side of an Arctic trailer at the moment, isn't it?
Yes, that's the one side.
Yep.
They have welded from the bottom, turned around, and now they are welding from that side.
We've seen the floor being welded, we've seen the sides being welded. So now they're all being welded together, which is creating the body of the trailer, isn't it?
Correct. So when you have floor and two sides, you slide one side, other side, and the front.
Yeah.
And this is that stage. And then the last stage for our production will be tailgate mounting, and we call it so-called finish weld. So there are two stages, 1 and 2, to finish the body.
So this trailer here, this will probably, you'll pass one of these on the UK roads every day, I think, when you're travelling.
Yes.
This will be carrying like bulk grain for agriculture, sugar beet, loads, there'll be so many different...
Grain, barley, the half pipes carrying aggregate, stone.
Yeah.
So we build products specifically for harder wearing with thicker walls.
Yeah, okay.
So that you don't get the material punching through the side of the wall. So again, it's back down to the application of the customer, what's the best product for that job, and then do they need it customised in any way to work better for them.
Yeah.
That same process.
But you're right, that type of the body or the trailer is the most popular for us.
This side?
Yes, exactly. It's about 80-85% of our annual production would be the plank cider.
Okay. Coming to a UK road near you soon.
Yes. I think about 10 years ago we made our 10,000 sloper trailer.
Oh, did you?
So there's probably about 12,000-13,000 now that we've actually manufactured here.
And you make these out of aluminium to save the weight?
Pretty much, yes. Everything's about just stealing back a little bit more weight because it gives you more in the payload every time we can do that.
Okay. And the aluminium's strong, because I've never seen an aluminium trailer break up. You know, they're really strong, aren't they, the aluminium ones?
Very solid. Yep. You can see the quality of the welding here quite...
Yeah, I was just having a look in the back. Excellent.
Okay.
No. just the back doors.
Yes, yeah. So and usually
back
that's
door.
usually the last stage is here, but we don't have the trailers just moved out to the paint shop, so we will catch it in the later
Just
stage.
missed it.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are the back doors then. Oh, so
Exactly.
these are the parts we were looking at earlier, aren't they?
Yep.
Sure.
So these two parts. you
So
see
that's the bit that's been through the lathe,
Yep.
just there, and that's the bit you were showing me. So that's what holds the back door on.
Yes.
So you can
On the
actually see now what it does.
Yes.
Excellent.
There are.
Stop. But in general, because we have X and Y axis here, so it goes automatically. Actually, that's like a welding carriage which you can buy from the supplier.
Okay.
And then we just produce the rest of it like a bridge moving on the rail here.
Okay.
Again, it was done for two reasons. First, because you want constant quality.
Yeah.
Second, as you can imagine, welding like that is not very good option. You know, it's not comfortable.
No, it's not.
So the guys used to have like a small chair, and then he would sit on top of that and weld like that. But it was really, really hard job. So that machine helps us a lot on a big component.
So the next process now is this huge paint shop, isn't it? Which is, wow, it's
Yeah,
just
yes,
huge. It's
yes.
just huge.
Yes.
It's just absolutely massive. So this is where everything's being painted now. So we've seen the whole production process with all the aluminium welding, all the steel welding, laser cutters and everything. So we're going to move into here now and have a look at your paint process. I'm quite interested in seeing, this is painting the bodies, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
okay.
we already seen complete chassis being ready
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah.
And we seen how we weld bodies.
Yeah.
But now body is a huge thing, and
Yeah.
you need a really, really big painting line to be able to paint it.
Yeah.
So we'll go into paint shop, and after that we will see final assembly.
I mean, this building's massive again, isn't it?
So we will start from beginning. I'll show you where the body comes in.
This is the business head.
Yes. Here is a nice spot. You can see that's welded body.
Yeah.
Came from other department.
Yeah.
Has been lifted up and it goes on a track.
So nothing comes in on wheels, it's on like this big
Yes.
track system where you look, it'll actually go in the doors on a track system.
And it
won't
will go through all the painting process and then it turns back. So because you need to paint also under the body,
Yeah.
you don't really want any type of trolley under.
Yeah,
So you
okay.
can reach all these areas. So the process starts with, again, sanding or preparation for painting. We
Go
can
ahead
see
and
it
have a
here.
look.
Again, you have all these man lifts.
Oh yeah.
Because you need to reach all areas, so they go up and down. They can also extend like that.
So this is an aggregate body, isn't it? Because it's the half pipe body.
Yes, yes.
So this is a lot stronger.
It's usually lower, yeah, slightly shorter, but yes, it's a stronger body.
So it'll come out of this spray booth just here, and you can see on this track up above, it'll just roll through into the next booth.
Ongoing right now, so they are spraying the top coat.
So we'll just have a look. Oh yeah, you can see in there, look. It looks really smart, doesn't it, that trailer? So then from there, it'll go, the next one's the oven, is it?
Next one is the oven. So after a couple of coats, you have your primer, color, and a top coat.
Yeah,
The body goes into the oven
yeah.
for the curing time, which is right there.
So we were just looking a minute ago as well, in here, they mix all their own paint, so if you want like a specific colour of paint, you mix it all yourself, don't you?
Yep.
So then you pour it all in here and then it goes into the spray booth, into the guns.
Because we don't really have one standard color.
No.
It can be customer's choice. So that's a special blue for the customer.
Okay.
We also do the livery, the graphics and the stickers for a lot of customers.
Okay.
So the vehicle's ready to go straight to work.
Yeah, so literally they'll pick it up and go.
We'll pick it up and go, and it'll go.
And then you're going to marry it to the chassis, I
Marry,
suppose,
yes.
aren't they?
Marry is yes, it's quite popular word for this process. But literally, you have a hydraulic ram in the front.
Yeah.
We will have a pivot bar mounted here.
Yeah.
It all will be aligned, and then we drop the body on the chassis.
Oh, so you drop the body on here, and then the big pin slides through the middle here, and then these are the wayloader cells, aren't they?
Correct. That's the load cells. So you have 2 of them in the back and 2 of them in the front.
Yeah. Oh, very
And after
interesting.
that trailer with body together will come back to the line, and these are the final assembly jobs where you have your side guards, you have your toolboxes, you have your tail lights.
If you
and
just have a
all of
look
them.
down here, look at all these trailers down here that are all been painted, all ready to go. So this is the final finished product, what we've seen. So we've seen we've seen the chassis being welded, built.
Yep.
We've seen all the aluminium welding, we've seen the painting, well, we've seen everything. So it's been really, really interesting. But we're not finished there yet, are we? Because I didn't realise you've actually got a crane division we're going to go look at now.
We've got a crane division, we've also got a livery shed. So what you see now is the finished product, but the client may want us to also put their stickers and their livery on this as well.
Okay.
So we can either do their design and we'll put it on for them,
Yep.
or we can actually create the design ourselves.
Okay.
So it's another part of the service. We offer a full turnkey operation.
And you'll deliver the trailer when done as
We
well?
can deliver it as well. Some customers prefer to collect themselves, inspect the trailer before it leaves the site themselves.
Okay.
But no, typically we'll build it, we'll sign it, and we'll deliver it to the customer's door.
Oh, excellent.
And this is the finished product ready to go to work.
So we've had a look around the factory, but that turns out it's only half of it. So let's go and look around the next half of the factory.
So Tom, this is our lorry mounted crane line. This is our newest production line in the factory. MV Commercial have now given all of their build programme to Fruehauf to build on their behalf.
Oh, okay.
So what you can see as we walk down the line here is a mixture of rigid and tractor unit lorry mounted cranes.
So you'll have the crane, so we saw earlier, didn't we? Saw the crane mounted on the front.
That's right.
And then you've got this bed on the back now as well.
That's right.
So you will probably buy these lorries new from factory?
We buy the lorries brand new from Volvo, Scania, DAF, you know, whoever the lorry that's been chosen by the client.
Yeah.
And then we'll build it to their specification. So again, what's the lorry going to be doing? Where's it going? What's it lifting? What's the application? And then we'll try and tailor the build to suit that particular client. Whether it's a bigger crane that's needed, a longer reach, there might be a fly jib that needs to come out the end of the crane to go in through buildings.
Yeah.
So
what cranes are you using? I can see you've got Hiab ones.
We've got Hiab, Palfinger, Cormac.
Yeah.
Again, really down to the customer's desires and applications.
Yeah, okay.
Like the trailers that you've seen, people have got a buying habit or a build habit. Customer that gets a new job with a new application and their traditional build doesn't really work.
Yeah, okay.
And then we're into doing something a bit more custom for that client. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal. And again, you know, Fruehauf's been tasked with now building these for MV Commercial, and they put about 120 brand new lorry mounted cranes out a year.
Oh, right.
So this is employing more people, making the factory a little bit more specialised, giving us different type of work, but all done to the same standard Fruehauf and MV Commercial quality.
You'll just put in whatever the customer wants on, basically.
That's right. Some of these customers that you'll see here have been customers of MVs for 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
So we're maybe building the 50th asset for them.
So like these ones over here, this side, the rigid, these little small rigid ones, these will be like builders merchants lorries.
That's exactly it. We're going to have tipper grabs, small cranes on the back.
Yeah.
Just depending which site they're going into, if it's tight.
So you'll literally build anything from like a small transit van
up to the large cranes that you see behind you.
Up to like these big large cranes on 500, 700 horsepower Scanias.
When this is fully finished behind you, this will be pushing up to £500,000 for a build. And another big Palfinger on the back of that. So we use the overhead cranes to unload those cranes, but again they want a sort of deck body on it, others want sides. It just depends on the job, the customer, the application. But MV Commercial would be probably the most experienced lorry mounted crane company.
And all that, or you try and do try and stick to new stuff.
Not so much here. We have another site in Airdrie in Scotland.
Okay.
Where we'd maybe do more of that kind of type of work.
Okay.
Retrofitting and stuff like that. In the factory here, it's more about producing new products. So again, this is a new line, but you can see already we've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 10 cranes in production.
Yeah.
Again, at the end of the process, they're really heavily tested. The crane engineer comes down for 2 or 3 days to take the crane through all its workings, and then it's signed off to the customer, fully tested product.
How much further will it go out?
That's some bit of kit though, isn't it?
I'm hoping you're going to let me have a go. So this is here for the moment for testing. You've got the crane.
This goes for a thorough test, just to lift that.
This big concrete block.
Yeah. And then they test it for twisting and all sorts.
Before it goes out, just to make sure everything's good.
That guy there, that's all he does. Is his job is to test all our cranes to check that they're up to standard. And it won't go anywhere until he passes it.
So you might wonder what on earth you'd use this for, but if you had a hot tub and you wanted to put it in your garden,
absolutely.
So you'd turn up with a hot tub on the back.
That's it.
You'd have this huge remote control crane and you'd be able to lift the whole thing over the house.
Or a lodge, or a garden room, or a man cave, or anything like that.
So we've just been and had a go on that big crane, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Really like that. We've just been into the racing truck shed as well, but we can't video that because we don't want to give any of your competition any ideas of what you're up to.
Yeah.
But I did get to have a go on the racing truck simulator.
Very good, very impressed.
So I got some footage here of that happening, me racing around the track. But this is the final part that we'll come to have a look at now anyway. So this is where the graphics go on all the trailers.
That's right.
So all the graphics are made in here, all the printing machines and everything. The trailers get backed in here.
That's right.
6 trailers in here or something?
6 at a time, yeah.
Yeah, so then you can get them in here. Either the customer sends their own graphics or they'll send someone down to do it for them.
The customers will basically ask us to do delivery on a lot of occasions. And
Okay.
the reason being, we've built the trailer for them, we've painted the trailer for them, we've tested it.
Yep.
It's ready to go to work. The last thing's put the stickers on, the driver can come in and pick it up and straight to work.
As easy as that.
Not everybody's got these facilities, so we can do it a lot sharper, a lot quicker, more accurately.
Out the rain.
Out the rain, exactly.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for your time today.
It's been an absolute pleasure, Tom. Thank you very much for coming.